What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here. We're beat up, dude. I got David behind the camera. Hit him with that selfie cam one time. It has been a hell of a 2 months. You guys have heard us talk about it a little bit. It's just been hectic, chaotic, working super hard, stuff not really going our way. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So we put a number of cars together. We've had a number of parts failures. We've had a car get wrecked. We've had some just tough times with getting stuff done. We have an absolutely awesome support group and team of people that work with us that help us get everything done. So it's not all bad. Junior Biss over at Bissett Performance is probably one of the biggest assets to LS Nasty here. We got Matt. You guys know Matt, LS Nasty Matt, TikTok Matt, whatever you guys want to call him. Matt here is he's the jack of all trades. He could do it all, from tuning to engine assembly to wiring to fabrication. You know, I'm not going to say that he fabricates better than me because I think my welding's a little bit better, but he's all right. And then we got David here, who is in charge of everything above 5'8" because we can't reach anything up there. But no, there's a huge amount of people behind the scenes that you guys don't even see. The videos that we record are a small fraction of what goes on day to day. We have like 16 or 17 cars here. We got a lot of stuff going on, and I can't film all of it because I wouldn't have enough time to edit all of it. And I don't know if you guys would like 10 videos a day. That might be a lot. So we're just going to give a quick little update here. We just got done with JJ's arm drop, which you guys will see in tomorrow's video and probably the following, the next two videos. We were working to really get some small tire cars together. Chris, you guys know Chris. You don't see him around a lot because he's super busy. He's got a lube shop over in Benson, Mule City Lube. He's got a couple different businesses over there, and a lot of the guys that were working there or his buddies were going to this JJ's arm drop event. So he called me up, an event that I generally wouldn't go to just because obviously we do a lot of radio racing. And he's like, hey, can we get some cars together to go out there? I said, yeah, not a problem. I'm going to start thrashing everything we got and put it together. This is his personal car here, Corvette. This thing here, for those of you guys that aren't familiar with it, as you can see, it is still clean on one side, it's dirty on the other. This has got a Black Sheep Stage 3 engine package in it. So this is a 2,000 plus horsepower engine combination, twin turbo. It's a monster. Methanol, mechanical fuel pump, surge tank with a factory fuel pump. So this thing here is set up to be street driven, high horsepower, absolutely bad to the bone. Being that it's Corvette, and it's still factory interior. I mean, for a 2,000 horsepower car, look at the interior of this thing. It's absolutely insane. Stock interior. It's got a 6-point cage, leather seats, heated seats, navigation, radio still works. It's got all of it. You got the HOLLEY screen right in there. So like when you put the trans brake button away and you stow it away, you can't even tell that this thing is on HOLLEY. So it is on a HOLLEY Dominator. Still with the factory ECU, so the windows, the door poppers, everything works. Power glide in the rear, factory C6 Z06 diff. We took it to the track a while ago and we had an issue where it let go. Definitely something wrong with the transmission, tore the pump up. So we got the transmission rebuilt, put everything back together, and then not only did it tear the pump up, but it broke the diff. Now we visually inspected, everything's good, but I think there's just a couple teeth on the ring gear that are missing. So it doesn't really drive all that well. So we thrashed and put this guy together here. Took forever to get it done right, fix some things that were not ideal or damaged along the way of racing. You know, you get a broken axle and that slings around and messes a lot of stuff up. We fixed everything, so the car is put back together, the best that I'd say it's ever had. Fired right up after sitting for a while. Drove it around the block, went to leave off the trans brake, boom, diff gone. See you later. So a real heartbreaker there. This was kind of behind the scenes, didn't film a video on it, didn't do anything, was going to just really try to get it done and take it out to the track. And it sucks because in a time crunch, we spent a lot of time putting this back together and then it doesn't work out. So
not an easy car to put back together either.
Not an easy car to put back together, not a quick time either. Doing a transmission swap on a lot of these cars, you could do them in like a half hour. It's pretty easy, you know. For all of the turbo stuff doesn't have exhaust, so then you're just accessibility of the transmission's right there, converter bolts, yank that stuff out, transmission cross member, drive shaft, boom, transmission's out. So we go back in here to the shop, starting to get some room back. It's still kind of hectic. We just got our storage all redone, so now we can start moving a lot of stuff that's just sitting around here and put it in storage, clean the shop up, really was trying to get Hank done for this race. I thought it would have been the perfect car, you know, a 490 race, right in its capabilities. I think this car, you know, all said and done at weight, is probably gonna be a little bit over 3,000 pounds, maybe 3,200. I think it'd be like a 475, 480 car. So, you know, a race where you got to go out there and go fours, this would be it. Already got the 29.5-inch slicks on there. Drive shaft, was told the drive shaft was going to be here in time. Ordered it 3 weeks in advance. They said a 1 week ship time. When the drive shaft was supposed to be here, I call them up, say, hey, where's the drive shaft? And I got a, oh man, you know, I just wasn't feeling it that day. I forgot to order it. So I guess that sucks for me, which it did. So we didn't have a drive shaft. So we were still trying to put it together. I was trying to source another drive shaft here locally, which I did have some leads on. And then we went to address the rear end, and the axle flange is jacked up, which we have to fix. And the spool has play in the splines. So there's something wrong with the splines that you have that much play only on one side. So it's a Mosier axle, supposedly, and Mosier spline. I know it's a Mosier spool, sorry. I know it's a Mosier spool because the part number's on it, but something's not right with it, so we weren't able to take this. That was a real heartbreaker because I've been trying like hell to put this together. Probably the baddest street car that I've ever built. Rear mount radiator, twin turbos, looks badass. It's going to be sick. It's still going to be sick, but we were really trying to get it done in that timeline. Unfortunately, weren't able to. So if we go over here, we got old trusty brown sugar. So you guys know, this is my old car here. We got it back. We thrashed for what, 2 days straight? Like 2 days, every waking moment we were working on this thing, changing a lot of things. Before we took to the track on Thursday night, we were literally putting 2 new fuel pumps on there and sticking in the trailer.
I think we were putting fuel pumps on it at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock, track goes hot at 5. So we were, there ain't no quitting us. We're going to get it done. So we went through the vet. That's not making it to small tire. We went through Hank. That's not making it to small tire. And I mean, just the amount of work that's done on this. I mean, it's all crimp on. This is one of my personal cars here. So this is all crimp on fuel lines. I mean, when you're talking about the crimp on fuel lines, you're talking about like, especially something like this, you're talking about like $5,000 just in running fuel lines. And I'm like, hey man, I want this. I want it to last. I want it to be nice.
$16 a fitting.
Yeah. I mean,
it gets steep real quick.
Oh, and the hose. I mean, you're talking about 20 feet of hose is $500 for -6. I mean, but you pay for what you get. I wanted the most badass stuff I could get, and I got it. So, you know, we got all this stuff going together. Super excited. That this didn't work. The vet didn't work. So I'm like, all right, let's default back to brown sugar. So when I got it, there was it was running, driving, but not to the.
I mean, it wouldn't even like.
I mean, it was.
It would just cut off if you didn't give it throttle.
There were some weird things in the tune-up. They had some of the sensors plugged up wrong. Now it was running and driving, but again, it was on Fuel Tech FT500, which is great. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything we got here is HOLLEY, so if I have an issue, I can swap stuff out HOLLEY a whole lot easier. So I said, hey, let's just rip the whole harness off. Let's rip the Fuel Tech off. I got a HOLLEY Terminator from Eddie Murphy. We'll slap it right on here. So we get that slapped on here, no problem. This thing starts up, fires up, builds boost, trans brake, bump box, CO2 boost control. Matt absolutely killed on the wiring. Junior was over here. I texted Junior one night and I said, hey man, if you're not doing anything when you get off work, we're kind of struggling under the gun to get this stuff done. And Junior, who's got his shop full of cars working on stuff, stops what he's doing, shows up over here at 5 o'clock, walks in and says, what do you need? He comes over there, starts welding on Hank, comes over here, starts messing with the rear end because the rear end, the shock brackets were on wrong and need to be welded. And him and Matt just knocked that stuff out. I mean, just the support is unbelievable. So we get all this thing all fired up. We take to the track. I drive it around now. It does have a major issue with the steering rack. So the steering rack on this is put in, I'd say like 95% incorrectly. It's put in at a downward angle towards the passenger side, so like this. So the orientation would be that the boot on the passenger side would be down like that. Yeah. And it's kind of offset as well, so now your steering angles are off. When you do a steering rack on a G-body like this that doesn't have like an innovative K-member on it or anything, you have to go through the frame. It's a pain in the ass to cut a hole through the frame. Go over here, I'll show you exactly what it's like. thankfully we have enough resources here to show you exactly that. So, see how the steering shaft comes through the frame? Now this is still a pretty severe angle. You can modify that a little bit, but you don't want to have any sharp angles that are going to make it notchy when you steer. You want the steering to be smooth. An angle really any more severe than that is going to give you issues. Very important to do certain things 100% correctly. Steering and brakes.
Pretty big piece.
Yeah, I'd recommend that. I'd recommend that you do that correctly. So let's go back over here. As you can see, direct comparison, you got not a terrible angle there, but a far more severe angle here, and then a third joint down there. So you got all these joints at all different angles, and I mean, just look at that.
Oh yeah.
That'll give you a telltale sign of what you got going on. Turning the wheel is extremely challenging. It's extremely notchy. It was very difficult to drive, and especially going fast, having to put input in the steering wheel, it was going to be unsafe. So we're gonna say, hey, let's take it to the track. If we get it to go down the track good, we can just come back. I know I got an extra steering rack laying around. I know I got the joints laying around. We can get it done. Take it to the track, let go of the button, goes nowhere. Maybe because it's got no boost in there. Go back, turn it up, making about 15 pounds of boost, which should be in that damn, I don't know, 800, 850 horsepower range. Car goes nowhere. Pukes a bunch of fluid out the transmission. Transmission's not working right. So we're gonna pull the transmission out. I gotta have this done to go to Pennsylvania here in 2 weeks because I'm going up there to hang out a little bit, and obviously I'm not gonna go without a street car. I'd like to take Hank, but Hank, I don't have a solution to the issues yet. I'm waiting to hear back. This here, I know the transmission can get fixed and we'll be good to go. So again, my man Junior Bissett Performance, you guys hear me talk about him a lot. He is killing it. Quality of work, great. Communication, great. He is just, he's unbeatable at this point. I mean, Junior, anything you need, he can do, he can knock out. We run over there for our Pro Mod and our blower stuff, and they got a plasma table, cuts some stuff on the plasma table, gives it to us, we hit the road, we're back in business. I mean, he is just one of our greatest assets, and we're super thankful for that. So he was at the track, we were racing with him this past weekend. He's like, hey man, jerk the transmission out of brown sugar, I'll rebuild it, because he rebuilds transmissions too. And he said, bring me the car and I'll fix the steering rack. So I mean, it's awesome to be able to have that kind of support. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this up in the air, get the transmission out of it. He's going to make a new transmission cross member, put the transmission, or rebuild the transmission. We're going to bring him the car as well, and he's going to put a new steering rack on there and get it back, put it all back together, and then we'll be good to go, which I think would be awesome. So we got 2 weeks to get it done. A lot of work to do, but there's your update here. It's been a long week, long month, long 2 months. What do you think, David?
Been a long 2 months for sure.
Is the end in sight?
No, now you got another deadline.
Got another. Deadlines are the death of me, dude. Deadlines suck. So in other news, the Colorado's gone. James Rollins at Hippie Fabrication, he is getting the headers knocked down on that. So be sure to check him out on Instagram. We're gonna make some progress on the cow with John over at Huron Speed and keep plugging away. When Matt gets back, so it's gonna be the end of the month, we're gonna start putting the bad apple back together, finish the red car, get those two knocked out, and this knocked out, Hank knocked out. We're really gonna start laying them down. So, oh, Eddie Murphy knocked out. Yeah, we got some stuff we're gonna get done, but we got all the parts here. We know what we need to do. We were just thrashing on this other stuff, and we'll get it right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for your support. Sorry for the late video. We got some action-packed videos from racing, the Pro Mod, blown budget, and the black sheep at the no prep in tomorrow's upload.